you're muted and that you're staying muted, and go ahead and put any questions that you have in the chat, and we'll try to make sure we get to all of those at the end. For the teens, for those of you who just arrived, please make sure that you type your name into the chat so that we can take attendance, make sure we know who we have here. So this is our orientation agenda. We're going to start off with some introductions by the Leaps and Bounds staff. Then we're going to go through what the program schedule will look like and some program details. I'll talk quickly about ASM Pay Information to make sure everybody is set up to get their money. That's very important. And we'll go through some professional expectations, what we're expecting from you. And then Ms. Ferguson is going to cover some of our things that are related to doing program virtually, so some virtual program etiquette and a quick introduction to the Google Classroom so that you'll kind of know what you should be seeing on Monday. And then I'll just have a few quick questions that you might be wondering. And then at the end, we'll have the opportunity for you to ask us any questions that you have. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So my name is Miss Kendalyn, and I am the high school transition team manager at the Gary Comer Youth Center, and I'm gonna be one of the instructors for Leaps and Bounds this summer. I'm gonna ask for the other instructors to introduce themselves as well.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Gerald. I'm the male mentor coordinator, as well as one of the instructors for Leaps and Bounds. Seeing a lot of new faces and a lot of old faces, and look forward to meeting with you guys this summer.
Hello, my name is Miss Ferguson. I'm the academic mentor coordinator at the Gary Comer Youth Center, and I am also one of the instructors for Leaps and Bounds. I look forward to engaging with each and every one of you this summer.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Kiara. I use the she, her pronouns. I am the female mentor coordinator at Gary Comer Youth Center, and I look forward to working with you all.
Hi, everybody. I'm Miss Grace. I'm an intern at Gary Comer for a year, and then I'll be here for another year. And I'm an SEL and future focused breakout leader for Leaps and Bounds this summer.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Laura. I'm also an intern for Leaps and Bounds, and I will also be running a future focused breakout room.
Hi, everyone. I know you can't see me right now. I can't get my camera to work, but I'm Miss Chaz. I'm the Upper Bound College Prep Manager. I'll be running a focused breakout group as well. So great to have you and meet you all.
Kendalyn, you're muted.
Thank you. We'll probably need another reminder. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to start by going on telling you a little bit about what each day will look like in program. So every day you will arrive in your cohort. We're going to ask you to arrive a little bit before program starts, between 1:20 and 1:30, so we can go ahead and get started as close to 1:30 as possible. So you'll be arriving in your cohort meet, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that. And then from 1:30 to 2 o'clock, you'll be meeting with a group of 14 other teens, as well as your cohort leader. Just kind of have an introduction to the day and do some kind of fun activities. Then from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock each day, you'll have a specific activity, depending on whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. After that, you'll have a little bit of individual work time, and this is where you won't be in a meet, but you'll actually be working independently to complete something that's based upon your daily activity from that day. After that time is over, you'll go back into your cohort meeting, and you'll kind of have a closing out for the day. At 4 o'clock, we will have instructor office hours. So either myself, Mr. Gerald, Ms. Kiera, or Ms. Ferguson will be there to check in if you have any questions, you're not sure what's going on, or if you just want to hang out, that's good too. And we'll also be doing some academic coaching. So everybody in Leaps and Bounds will be paired up with one of our staff members to do a little bit of academic coaching, and you'll have 3 meetings over the course of the summer with your academic coach. And so that will be done in that end of day time. I believe Mr. Gerald is going to present our next slide.
Okay, so for our daily activities, they will kind of mirror each other each weekly. So Mondays will be our high school readiness skills, going through lessons such as professional communication, organization, time management, and study skills. Many of you probably remember talking about some of these topics during your interviews. On Tuesday will be our life skill workshops. Some of those topics include important of 9th grade, entrepreneurship, restorative justice, College 101, and stock market introduction. Wednesdays will be for our breakouts. SEL will be our social emotional learning breakouts, where you'll have an opportunity to pick from leadership, male mentoring, obviously for the males only, female mentoring for the females, transitions and changes, as well as peer position. For our future focus breakouts, we have public speaking, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, acing the interview, and post-graduation plan. And like I mentioned, these are breakouts. You will have a choice to pick between one from each SEL and one from each future focus. And Thursdays for previous programming were dedicated to field trips, but obviously we can't do that virtually, unfortunately, but we will be dedicating our Thursdays to our community service project, which we will get into once we break down to our cohort.
Excellent. And we will also have a bonus option on Friday. This is not something that you're required to do, but if you want to, our college counselor, Miss Molly, she will be doing college tours every Friday with our Upward Bound participants. So you'll have the option to join in that as well if you want to check out some different colleges. All right. So the next thing to talk through is your ASM Pay Information. So first, I just want to start off by talking about what a stipend is. So a stipend is a check that you receive. Instead of being paid hourly, you're paid for the completion of the program. So what this means is that you either receive a stipend or you do not, depending on whether or not you complete the program. The stipend for this summer is $420. So there are 2 different ways that you can be paid. So you can either be paid via direct deposit or with a Wisely card. And so what direct deposit is where the money goes directly into your bank account. So you would have to have a bank account set up already. If you do not fill out the form for direct deposit, then you will automatically be signed up for a Wisely card. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put in the chat the link to the After School Matters website on direct deposit. So if you have any questions, you can go there. The Wisely card is basically a debit card that you can use. And as I said, you will automatically be given a Wisely card if you do not opt for direct deposit. The important thing to know about the Wisely card is that it will be mailed to your house.
Excuse me, wait a second. I can't hear y'all. I'm gonna fix it now.
Okay, can you please mute yourself? If you have any questions, please put them in the chat for us.
Okay.
All right. So the Wisely card will be mailed to your house. So it's super important that you double check that your address is correct on your ASM application. So After School Matters will mail that to your house. If there's an error in your address, it's possible that it will not go to the right place, and it will take some time to get that corrected. So please double check that your address is correct on your ASM application. You will receive your stipend in 2 installments. So the first one will be on Thursday, July 30th. That'll be $210. Sorry, my dog is barking. And then the second one will be on Thursday, August 20th. Again, another $210. Are there any questions about ASM Pay Information? If so, you can put that in the chat now. All right, so the other thing to know, yes, so I just had the question, can you send it to a parent's bank account? You should be able to complete the After School Matters. So the link that I sent will give you the actual form. I believe that you can send it to any bank account. You just have to have that bank account information. You are welcome. All right. So in order to make sure that you're all set to be paid, there are a few things that you need to double check and make sure you have done. So you need to make sure that the parent and teen program acknowledgement, consent, and release has been completed. This is required to participate in an After School Matters program, and therefore is required to be paid. The parent version was sent to whatever email you put for your parent, and the teen should have been sent as part of your application. If you have any questions about that at the end, I'm going to ask you to refer those to Ms. Ferguson, and she's going to make sure everybody can get that done. The second thing is that your Social Security number has to be entered in your application. And basically, the Social Security number is how we verify that you are who you say you are, and that's what allows us to pay you. And then the third thing I already mentioned, that you want to make sure that your address is correct, because that's where your Wisely card will be sent. Jaden, I believe that After School Matter, that may be something that you're able to do. So Jaden asked, if you have a Wisely card already, can you just send the money to the previous card? You definitely want to check with After School Matters about that directly. So there's an email address for them, which is stipends, and I'll put this in the chat as well, at afterschoolmatters.org. Let me find that link real quick. But I believe that what they do is they issue one for you directly. All right, I'm going to get you that link in just a second. Put that in the chat. All right. So are there any other questions about pay information? All right, if you have any questions, we'll make sure to answer them at the end as well. All right, so Gabrielle just asked, is a Wisely card like a prepaid card? It is similar to a prepaid card, but it can be used just like a regular credit card, and then the money just gets deposited on there. You're also able to add money to that as well. The link that I sent kind of has the facts. I'm going to put the facts about the Wisely card in there as well. Yes. So Justin just asked if we can send the link for direct deposit through the email. What I can do is put it in the Google Classroom, and so you'll be able to access it directly there. So in order to get your check sent through direct deposit, you need to go to the link that I posted in the chat, and that has all of the directions, including the direct deposit link. So we're going to move on now to professional expectations, and then we'll come back to any questions you have at the end. All right. So we're going to go through a few just professional expectations, things that we are expecting from you this summer. So the first thing is attendance. This is very, very important, that you're here every day to engage and work with your coworkers. So the expectation is that you're on time and present every day. We ask that if you're going to be late or absent, that you inform your cohort leader. So if there's a reason that you're not going to be there, or you're running a little bit late, or you're having a technology issue, we're going to ask you to contact your cohort leader directly. If you are more than 10 minutes late that day, you will be counted as absent. And that is because, as I explained, you receive a stipend, which means everybody gets, the stipend or not. And in order to make sure it's fair for everybody who's showing up on time, if you're running late and you don't notify anybody, you'll be counted as absent. So this is the after school matter policy, that you're allowed to miss one day this summer, but you have to make up your attendance by going to our office hours twice that week. So we talked about how office hours are happening from that 4 to 4:30 time. So let's say you miss Monday that week. We're going to ask that you complete the assignments for whatever was happening on Monday, which will be posted in the Google Classroom, and then to attend the office hours with 2 instructors. So that could be Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday to make up for that time. If you are missing a second day, you'll not be eligible for your stipend. Okay? So that's the attendance policy. And again, this is just, we're trying to make sure everybody is here on time every day. And when people are showing up late too, it makes quite a challenge getting started. So as I was saying, if you're not going to be there, you're going to be late, we're asking you to contact your cohort leader. So this is the contact information for all 4 of our cohort leaders. So this presentation, we'll also go ahead and put this up on the Google Classroom, but feel free to take a screenshot of this or get this information down. We'll leave this up for a minute so that people can write this information down if they're taking notes. Does anybody have any questions now while we're leaving the screen up for a second? So Justin, as I just said, we're going to post this on the Google Classroom, and you will be able to access it there. Are there any other questions? All right, if there are no other questions, I think we'll move on, and then we can put this slide back up at the end. All right, yeah, and Laura just put a reminder in the chat for anybody who has shown up late and did not yet, please make sure that you put your name on the chat because Laura is taking attendance there for us. All right, if you have a specific question about the Social Security number, so that should be entered on your After School Matters application. If you have attempted that multiple times, it's probably better that we try to talk one-on-one so I can kind of walk you through that a little bit. So I'll make sure to give you my contact at the end. All right. So while we ask you to be present, we are also going to ask you to make sure that you actively participate. So there are a few things that this looks like for us this summer. So completing assignments during your independent time. So you'll be in a meet like this, but then you'll also have independent work. Making sure that you're completing those assignments is super important. We will also ask that you are working with your coworkers and really engaging with them. When we're in the meets, we're going to ask that you are asking and answering questions. So if you have a question, please make sure you ask it. And if your cohort instructor or your coworkers are asking questions, we ask that you are answering that. And then something that's super, super important for us is that you're communicating your needs to your instructor. So, sometimes we have an off day and we're just not ourselves and we're not really able to fully engage. please make sure that you are communicating that to your instructor. If you're having one of those days, let them know. You know, if you're struggling with something, let them know. If you're feeling sick, let them know. You know, the most important thing that you can do is just make sure that your instructor knows what's going on, and that allows them to be able to support you in whatever you need. So professional communication, and this is kind of reiterating what I just said. This is the key to being successful in leaps and bounds for us. If you're going to be absent or late, please communicate. If you're confused about something, you're not sure what's going on, please communicate. If you're upset, you know, something made you upset in program, or something happened before program and you're kind of coming in a mood, you know, communicate that. And if you're having a scheduling conflict, if something's going on, please communicate that. So obviously, we are very pro communication in leaps and bounds. So then the last thing that I'm going to go over here are what we call our GCYC house rules. So this program is run through the Gary Comer Youth Center. And even though we're not in the youth center, our house rules still apply. So I want to go over the ones that we felt like were really applicable to digital programming. So it's very important that you're respectful to everyone. And that you ask a staff person for help when there is conflict, a problem, or concern. Again, communicate. I feel like I've said it a lot. We ask that you wear appropriate and respectful clothing. So if you would not wear it to school and you're not permitted to wear it to school, please don't wear it to work. And then fighting, cursing, or having disruptive behavior while participating in activities or programs is unacceptable. We really want the space to be safe for everybody involved. And if you're disruptive or using language that is not appropriate, it really can harm, you know, the relationship that you have with your coworkers. But if you feel upset, that happens. Please make sure that you are, you know, just communicating that. So I just had a question. Are we able to wear a hoodie during a call? Yes, you should be able to wear a hoodie. I think as long as, you know, your hood's not on and we can see your face, you're good. So there are some additional house rules, but they were specifically related to things about being in the physical building, which we will not be this summer. So we've chose to leave those off. Will my instructor be able to see our progress, and will they be logged in at the same time? So you will be with your instructor, your cohort instructor, at the beginning and the end of every day, as well as with your activity leader in that middle part. Yes, they will be logged on during the time that you're working independently, and they should be able to see your work kind of as it's happening as well. So Cameron, I'm going to let Ms. Ferguson is going to lead us, talk a little bit about virtual program etiquette, and I believe that she will answer that question.
Afternoon. So these are some things to keep in mind during the program. This is our virtual program etiquette, okay? So we just went over GCYC house rules, and we're going to go over the etiquette as well, okay? So all of these things have already been mentioned, but we're just going to reiterate, okay? So more than 10 minutes late will count as an absence, okay? If you are going to be absent, you have a minimum of 24 hours with your instructor know, okay? Now, obviously, if it's a last minute emergency, then there are always exceptions to this particular rule. But if it's something that's scheduled, like say a doctor's appointment or a dentist's appointment, something like that, then you know ahead of time that you're going to do those things. Please give your instructor a heads up. You will have the ability to have one makeup, and that's per After School Matters handbook, their directive this summer. Recorded sessions will be available on the Google Drive as a resource, so you are able to review those. as well as you have to attend 2 half-hour office hour sessions to make up the hour of instructional time that you missed. There is no eating during virtual programming. That's because you are at work on the clock. You cannot eat when you're on the clock. You can, however, have a beverage. If you wouldn't wear it to class, don't wear it to work, right? So save the SpongeBob underpants, underpants, pajamas for another time. We don't want to see your pajamas. If you got a bonnet, a do-rag, take that off, okay? All right. Stay muted. We are doing that right now. Stay muted until you're ready to speak or contribute. You got a question, obviously, then we're chatting. But if somebody's presenting, please remain on mute. Have your camera on if possible, right? So now I know that can be a problem sometimes, depending on what your internet bandwidth is. If there are a lot of people at your house, everybody's working, somebody's got a video call, and somebody else is running the cable, and it's just too much. But if you have the capability to have your camera on, please do so. It'll make it a lot easier for your class to connect with you, because remember, you're in class with a bunch of other people, and it'll make it a lot easier for your instructor to connect with you as well, okay? All right. Use chat for the class topic only, like we're doing right now, right? We are all focused on the presentation. We're asking questions about the presentation only. So similarly, it will be just like that during program as well, okay? Consequences for disrupting class. That will be one warning, and you will be asked to leave, okay? Because again, you are at work. So disruptive behavior will receive a warning. That is the consequences when you're at work. If you're disruptive, you will be asked to leave, okay? All right. And then this is more of a reminder more than anything. I know we're all sheltering in place. Some spaces that we're in are bigger than others, and so sometimes this can be tricky, especially with everybody working from home. Just, we want you to be mindful of the space that you're in, because you don't want anything around you that you don't want anybody else to see, right? Or anything that's too personal for anybody to see. So just be mindful of that when you're setting up your workspace, okay? Okay. Now, Google Classroom information. Your ASM Google Classroom information will be sent to you via the email you used in your application, okay? So if you use the CPS email, you are not going to get your info, because CPS accounts will not receive emails from outside of CPS. So my suggestion is that you go back to your account and update it with a different email address so that you can receive the After School Matters program email that you need in order to join Google Classroom. You cannot join Google Classroom without that email address. So make sure you take care of that. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm going to exit now from the presentation so that I can just give you a really quick preview of what the Leaps and Bounds classroom is going to look like, okay? All right. Okay, so this is the starter page. Your page is going to look just a little bit different because you're a student, not an instructor, so I have access to more info than you will in your view, but here's the stream. So on the stream page is where the cohort that you are reporting to will be posted Monday morning. Okay, again, the cohort or the class that you're in will be posted on the stream page Monday morning. You will also find things like announcements on the stream page. Okay. Obviously, you click the next one, it says classwork. These are the various classrooms for Google Classroom for Leaps and Bounds. So if you are in my cohort, this is where you will click. Okay. If you are in Mr. Gerald's class, this is where you will click, so on and so forth. The classroom is not finished. We are still in the process of uploading some of the things. So this is not the final version. But if you decide to do self-advocacy for one of the, well, we're all going to do self-advocacy for the high school readiness session. This is how you would find that, okay? So they will all be listed here. But now for your focus sessions, those are things that you yourself will select, right? So if you pick ASM the interview, this is where you will be. If you decide to go with financial literacy, this is where you will be, okay? Then the people in the class are listed here. Some of your teachers, there'll be more listed, and then students are listed there. As you can see, some students have logged in already. They're the ones who are dark. The ones who are in gray have yet to log in. They have, I see several have been invited though. So that means you just got to go check your email, all right? Also, you should have access to the Google Calendar. Yeah, here we go. So the calendar, and I assume the other teachers will put this information up. I put this information up because I'm running 2 different programs, so I want you to know when I'm not here with you, I'm busy doing something else, so just in case you're looking for me for one reason or another, okay? So, and then class codes, or the Google Meet for each code, for each class, excuse me, will be posted in your cohort as well. So when you get to your cohort announcement here on the stream page, a link for your Google Meet will be posted along with that class. Okay. All right. We haven't established the code yet, but that information will be sent to you shortly.
So you have to use your ASM Gmail account to log in. So it's not something where we can just give you the code. After School Matters is asking that you use your After School Matters account and to get into the classroom. So Gabrielle, nobody has been put into anything yet. So everything that's posted there that you can see is just everything. And then what will happen is once you're put into a specific group, then you'll only be able to see that group. But right now you can see everything. Are there any questions for about what Ms. Ferguson just presented?
I'm happy to answer questions later on if you need me to, okay? Monday.
Yes, we start Monday. Programming runs every Monday through Thursday from 1:30 to 4:30 starting next week, 6 weeks.
So you should be at the Leaps and Bounds Google Classroom by 1:20 so you can find your cohort, join the Google Meet, and be ready to go. So between now and then, you need to log into your account. By your account, I mean your After School Matters program email account. Are there any other questions? It should go, shortly. I'm not sure what honestly, I'm not sure what the trigger is for ASM to send it to you. But my thought is that it can't be longer than 24 hours. They'll send you the login for your ASM program.
So if you had a CPS email listed and I believe that they already sent them out. So just to clarify, if you had a CPS email listed, I'm going to be reaching out to ASM tomorrow just to clarify, but you should contact applications at afterschoolmatters.org And I am also, you can also send me an email to just let me know that you're in that boat. We're kind of correcting them as they go, but it's possible that it may be, a little while before they're sending it to you. So Justin, again, you're not going to be using a personal email or your CPS email. You're going to be using the After School Matters Gmail that they're going to give you. And they've sent that to the email address that you used on your application. All right, so just these are a few reminders as we're kind of wrapping up here. What do you need to do before Monday? Before Monday, you need to make sure that all of your ASM paperwork is completed. That is, the Social Security number is completed, that your teen and parent park form is completed. Those are required in order for you to be able to be paid. You want to make sure that you can log into your ASM Google account, and that will be asmprograms.org. I know a lot of you are working on that, and we'll probably be troubleshooting that a little bit tomorrow to make sure everybody can get in. And then you want to make sure that you're joining the Leaps and Bounds classroom that was sent to your ASM account. Yeah, just a reminder, Ms. Ferguson is going to be assisting with the park forms, the consent forms. All right, so that's what you need to do before Monday. And then on Monday, we're going to ask for you to enter the Leaps and Bounds classroom a little bit before 1:30 with your ASM Google account. You're going to check the feed that Ms. Ferguson showed you. So that's the very first page when you arrive. And there will be 4 lists there. One for Ms. Kendalyn, one for Ms. Kiera, one for Ms. Ferguson, and one for Mr. Gerald. And you will find your name, and there will be a link to the meet for your cohort for that day. So you'll join the meet, and then you'll get to meet your cohort coworkers and your instructors. Any questions about what is expected for what you need to do before Monday, or what to do on Monday at 1:30? So somebody asked, can I get a copy of the form? So if you're looking for the park form, specifically the program acknowledgement, consent, and release, Ms. Ferguson will be doing that. The other pieces of information need to be entered into your After School Matters application. So the feed is the first part of the app. So Justin just asked, when you say feed, do you mean email? No, the feed is the first part of the Google Classroom. So that is where that will be posted. Things will not be going to your email. They will be posted in the Google Classroom. Yes, Ms. Ferguson, can you go back one slide? So you will not be able to access your application without your application ID. If you cannot find that, then you need to, and you need to contact applications at afterschoolmatters.org. They can assist you there. But you should be able to get your application ID either in the parent email that you provided or the email address that you provided. All right, so I see the question, what do we do at 1:30? So that was what I just covered in the previous slide. You're going to log into the Google Classroom. You're going to find out which cohort you're in, and you're going to click on the link for that cohort meeting. So how do I get my ASM Google account? So we're still kind of troubleshooting that for the teens who use an CPS email. If I get some information on that, I will send out an email with those details. Right now, my recommendation is to contact After School Matters at applications@afterschoolmatters.org to see if they're able to give you your login information. Unfortunately, I do not have it, but that is something that I am trying to get a hold of. This starts Monday. Yes, it does. No, Justin, you cannot join the Google Classroom with your regular email. You need to use your After School Matters email. That's a new email address that you'll be getting. Are there any other questions? I'm not exactly sure what this question means with the weird number for the password correct. I believe that After School Matters sent you an email address and then probably gave you some like random set of numbers for your password. All right, Justin, why don't you and I talk after this? Yeah, so Gabrielle's just sharing that once you use that weird password, that it will actually have you to make a password. A really good tip, please make sure you write that down somewhere so that you can get back in. Correct. After School Matters will give you a login for that. It's not something that you can create. It's something that was sent to your email address. Are there any other questions? All right, so I think the instructors will stick around here for about 10 more minutes if there are any questions that you have. But if not, we look forward to seeing you on Monday about 1:20. Please make sure you're logging into the Google Classroom and finding your cohort and joining us there. We look forward to working with you this summer.